All right, job hunters out there, want to revamp that job search? This is the deep dive for you.
This time around, we're going to crack the recruiter code.
We're talking resumes and LinkedIn profiles.
But not just the surface stuff.
We're going deep on the strategies that actually make recruiters want to hit that contact button.
Yeah, we're going to help you stand out from the crowd.
And to guide us, we've got insights from someone who believes in cutting through all the fluff.
Lau Yamazaki.
Have you heard of him?
I love his style. It's super refreshing, very no-nonsense. He actually calls it no mimi.
No Mimi, I like that. Straight to the point.
Exactly. And he's been on both sides of the hiring process, so he knows what actually works in the real world.
He gets it.
He does. And he's distilled all that experience into a system that's helped a ton of people land their dream jobs.
So no sugarcoating today.
Yeah.
Just straight up actionable advice.
I love it.
So where do we even start? What's the first thing we need to understand about how recruiters operate, how they think?
Well, Yamazaki uses this powerful visual. It's a hiring pipeline.
Okay.
And it really helps explain how the whole process works.
Yeah.
So picture a literal pipeline, right?
Okay.
But instead of like oil flowing through it, it's flooded with resumes, thousands of them. And your resume, it's just this one little speck trying to make its way through.
Okay. I'm already feeling a little stressed just picturing that. Thousands.
Right. It's competitive, for sure. But here's the thing. Within that pipeline, there are all these mini selection processes happening at every single stage. So it's not just about getting your resume in front of a human. It's about getting past all the filters, all the hurdles along the way.
So it's not just one big decision. It's like a whole bunch of little ones, and they all have to go your way.
Exactly. And one of the biggest hurdles, especially early on, something you've probably heard of, applicant tracking systems, or ATS for short.
Oh, yeah. Those things, I'll be honest, I don't totally understand how they work.
Yeah.
But I know they can be brutal.
Oh, they are. Yamazaki really emphasizes this. Your resume isn't always being read by human eyes first. It's being analyzed by these systems. They're designed to filter candidates based on specific criteria before a human even sees it.
It's like a robot.
It is. It's like a robot on the assembly line.
Wow.
Scanning for these very specific things. And this is where that whole mini selection process really kicks in.
So how do we make sure our resumes make it past those robot gatekeepers? What are they looking for?
Keywords and formatting. Yeah. Those ATS systems are programmed to look for specific terms and phrases that match the job description.
Right.
But they also care about things like font type, heading styles, even how you structure your work experience. It's about making your resume easily scannable and digestible for the robots and the humans.
Okay, so it has to look good and have the right keywords.
Got it.
Got it. And this is where I feel like people, myself included, we tend to overthink things. We want to cram everything in there, every single thing we've ever done. But Yamazaki has kind of a surprising take on this, right?
He does. He does. He actually has this rule. Might seem a little counterintuitive at first.
Okay.
But once you understand the why behind it, it's like a light bulb.
All right, let's hear it.
The one-page rule.
One page. Seriously, what if you've got like years of experience?
One page.
One page.
Yeah. His view is that it forces you to be absolutely ruthless
Okay.
about what's important. What's really important, think about it.
Okay.
Recruiters.
Yeah.
Busy people.
Oh, yeah.
They're sifting through so many applications.
Absolutely. Who has time to read a novel for every applicant?
Exactly. They're only going to spend maybe a few seconds scanning that resume at first.
Really?
Yamazaki actually says it's those first 6 to 10 seconds that are crucial.
Wow.
It's make it or break time.
That's intense. 6 to 10 seconds. That's barely enough time to like read the summary at the top, let alone my whole like work history.
And that's why he's so adamant about that one-page format.
Okay.
You have to hook them right away.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So how do we do that? How do we hook them?
One of his biggest tips is results. Results. Results.
Okay.
Don't just tell them what you did. Show them what you accomplished. Show them what kind of impact you made.
So less about like I managed a team
Yeah.
and more about I led my team to exceed sales targets by 15%.
Yes, exactly. Quantifiable achievements, they're key. Instead of listing your responsibilities, showcase those accomplishments. Did you streamline a process? Did you boost efficiency? Did you exceed expectations? Tell them that. Numbers, they really speak volumes on a resume. And Yamazaki actually, he gives some really great examples in the book
Oh, yeah.
of how to quantify those achievements, even in roles that aren't traditionally numbers driven.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, because I think a lot of people, like in creative roles or strategy roles, might struggle with that.
Absolutely. He talks about, for example, a graphic designer highlighting how their design actually increased website traffic, or how a project manager could quantify how their work saved the company time or money.
Oh, interesting.
It's all about finding ways to really demonstrate your value
I like it.
through those measurable results.
Okay, this is making me want to pull up my resume right now and start making some changes. It's really about shifting your mindset
It is.
from just listing tasks to highlighting impact.
Yes, exactly. And you know what else he says?
What?
No personal anecdotes.
Wait, really?
No personal anecdotes.
Okay. What kind of personal anecdotes are we talking about here? Give me an example.
He specifically uses the example, I love my 2 dogs.
Okay, I have to admit that made me chuckle a little bit. People actually put that on their resumes.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
But Yamazaki says that kind of information, it's irrelevant.
Yeah, to your professional qualifications. You want to keep it focused on what you bring to the table as an employee.
So, strictly professional.
Yes.
Okay, got it. So we've aced the resume. What about LinkedIn? I feel like a lot of people, myself included, treat it as just an online version of my resume.
Right.
But it sounds like Yamazaki has a different take on that.
He does. He does. It's less about listing the experience and more about showcasing kind of your professional brand.
Yeah, it's like that hiring pipeline, that visual we talked about.
Right.
Your LinkedIn profile is one of the first things that pops up when a recruiter puts your name in that pipeline.
First impressions matter.
They do. It's your chance to make a really strong one, visually and professionally.
Okay.
Think of it as like your professional billboard.
I like that. Your billboard.
Yamazaki he uses his own LinkedIn profile as a great example.
Does he?
He's got this really eye-catching banner image, and you know right away he's in the design world.
It sets the scene.
It does.
So for people who are maybe just using the same old headshot they've been using for years, what are some things that we can do to really up our game in terms of those visuals?
He stresses high-quality photos.
Okay.
Professional photos. For both your profile picture
Okay.
and your banner image. So that profile pic, it should be a clear headshot.
Yeah.
And the banner image, something visually engaging, but that relates to your field.
Okay.
He also talks about using your headline strategically.
Yeah.
That's prime real estate on your profile.
It is, yeah.
So don't just repeat your job title.
Okay, so the headline, that's something I always struggle with. What's the magic formula?
Yamazaki has this really interesting tip
Okay.
about using 2 titles in your headline,
Okay.
even if it's essentially for the same role.
Okay.
So, for example, he uses both UX designer and user experience designer.
Oh, that's smart. So he's doubling his chances of showing up
Exactly.
if a recruiter is searching.
Exactly. It's about anticipating what terms they might be using
Yeah.
and then making sure your profile uses those same keywords. And he also talks about using a variety of synonyms for your skills throughout your profile. So instead of just listing project management one time, think about including terms like agile methodologies,
Right.
waterfall project management,
Okay, got it.
depending on your experience.
So it's almost like you're creating this web of keywords
Yes,
that all lead back to you.
exactly. It's about making it as easy as possible for recruiters to find you when they're searching for those skills. And remember that whole mini selection process thing?
Oh, yeah, right.
This is where it really comes into play on LinkedIn.
Got it.
Your profile has to be fine-tuned to make it past those filters to grab the attention of a human recruiter.
Okay. This is I'm getting a whole new appreciation.
Yes.
I've got work to do, I'll be honest. But it's exciting to think of LinkedIn as this strategic tool.
It is.
And not just, oh, I've got to have a LinkedIn profile.
It's more than just a digital resume.
This is
right?
next level.
Exactly.
So much good stuff in here.
And remember, Yamazaki's big on results.
Okay, right.
So don't just set it and forget it.
Okay. Track your progress.
Got it.
See how many profile views you're getting, how many connection requests, how many messages.
That's smart. Okay.
And don't be afraid to experiment and try new things and tweak things.
Play around with it.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of it. You can constantly refine it.
Right.
As your skills evolve, your experience evolves.
Well, on that note, I think it's time for us to wrap up this deep dive. And I think, honestly, my biggest takeaway is it's not enough to just be a good candidate. You have to be a findable candidate.
Absolutely.
You have to make it impossible for those recruiters to ignore you.
You do.
And thanks to Lau Yamazaki's insights, I feel like we've got the tools to do just that.
Yes. And the best part is, these strategies, they're all within your control.
That's so true. It's about taking ownership of that job search and putting your best foot forward.
Such a good point to end on. So to all of you out there on the job hunt, good luck. Stay persistent.